Once upon a time, in a very distant village, a queen named Margarita. She was much loved and respected by all the people in that place. She lived very happy with her husband Cristiano and their children Emilia and Samuel. But on one of those sunny and happy days of kingdom,
when it seemed all was quiet while the Leirs family was in the dining room of the castle, a letter arrived in a very mysterious envelope that was addressed with great urgency to Queen Margarita. No one could have imagined that the content of this writing would mark the life of the kingdom completely.
When the queen read the letter, she immediately began to cry. She could not contain herself to such terrible news. The invasion of her territory has arrived and was inevitable. The very frightened queen rushed to her room. Her husband and their two children did not explain with her attitude.
The very dismayed queen didn't want to tell to anyone. She locked herself in her room and didn't leave all afternoon. She spent her time thinking about what she was going to do from now on, because a dangerous cell was invading her territory, her delicate body, and of course it was.
the very evil one began to divide again and again without any limit, and the worst thing of the case was that the queen had to bear the praise of the air of that cell that inhabited the breasts of this precious woman until it caused of terrible disease called breast cancer.
She wept inconsolably throughout the night and the next day. By great love for her family and all the people who lived in the kingdom, filled herself with great courage. She wiped her tears, looked at the mirror.
She watched the reflection of a body full of courage and decided not to panic anymore, because she knew the battle was beginning and had to be faced. So she got out of the castle very quickly, rode her horse to sail, and headed towards the neighboring village for help.
Undoubtedly, the queen had the best team of allies. Some were doctors, nurses, and others strong soldiers who bravely came out to face the terrible reality and fight the great battle. For this they met in the main palace of the region, because they were convinced that with the cooperation of all of them they would be able to safeguard the queen's life.
So they began to analyze the dreaded situation that was plaguing the health of this beautiful woman. However, they needed the help of the great wisdom of the town, Mrs. Amunet.
The knights of the court, along with Amunet, made the courageous decision to administer medical substances to remove the spread of the opposing cells. But this attack also generated terrible consequences of the health of Queen Margarita.
Her beautiful long hair began to fall out. She had nausea and vomits. The food prepared by her loyal servants, she didn't tolerate it. On several occasions, she felt in her heart and soul indescribable sadness, thought that her life would soon come to the end.
But she felt that she didn't have the strength to continue this harsh illness. Her beloved husband and lovely children always told her, You are much stronger than you think. Never give up. Don't stop. Smile because you are alive. Keep hope because if there is hope, there is life.
Those words of love and encouragement that her love once gave her made her understand that illusion and smile are the best weapons. The battle is not lost when it fights with all its being.
Suddenly, a doctor arrived in the village who has studied this disease. They call him oncologist. The queen, without thinking, visited him immediately in search of more effective solution.
As the EBAT cells were increasingly invading their breast and becoming stronger. When she arrived at the doctor's, he performed an exhaustive examination for no alterations. Luckily for the king there was nothing else, because the cancer cells were only in one breast.
The oncologist explained to the queen that the only solution left was to have a surgery where the entire breast had to be removed, because the cancer has invaded her completely.
The next day, the queen was tapped to the most important hospital in the region. When the surgery was over, the queen awoke and looked at her husband, who kissed her on the forehead and congratulated her for being so brave and getting rid of such a hard battle.
She moved and with tears in her eyes told her that she loves him and that thanks to her love for her family and her kingdom, she managed to overcome this disease.
Finally, the queen left the hospital and went to her castle, where her sons and faithful servants were waiting for her with a smile on their face and a big welcome party with a big sick that side.
A real fighter isn't the one who always wins, but the one that, despite his defeats, never gives up.